Well, fabulous.
I think I know what's going on.
There we go.
Good morning. I love it
Good.
when I can fix it easily.
Yeah. Apparently, there's a little switch that turned off the camera, and we were looking at nothing. So, good morning. We're going to talk today about guilt. Guilt is a toxin. So, remember that we've been talking about weight loss and our program, Precision Weight Management, Count Toxins, Not Calories. And we've talked a lot about environmental toxins, and they're a big deal. But we need to also talk about internal toxins. So, stress, we've talked a little bit about, but today we're talking about guilt.
The internal bully. No one likes to listen to a bully. And I think it's really important to remember that your body is always listening to you. So the things that you say to yourself, sometimes, especially when you're trying to be healthy and be on a food plan, be disciplined. And sometimes you have those days where maybe you're going to a birthday party or you're going out with some friends and you indulge in some foods you normally wouldn't. And you should enjoy it, and you should enjoy the company and the connections. But then afterwards, if you're like me, then you run yourself with guilt, like, oh, why did I do that? Oh, why did I have that piece of pizza? Seriously, Elizabeth. And that's the toxic part. You need to embrace yourself. Be mindful of when you want to go out and do those things and realize those were intentional, and stop bullying yourself.
One of the things that we've been saying for years and years is that you don't get diabetes on Christmas or Thanksgiving or New Year's or your birthday or whatever single special event. You get it on all the other days, all the days and times in between. And so, it's important to make things sustainable. And so if there's 21 meals in a week, more or less, right? 7 times 3. And people, depending on a lot of details. But anyway, 7 times 3. So what if 20 of those were on your plan and one of them was a guilt-free opportunity, not to go completely nuts, but to
Not to eat a whole piece or a whole cake.
yeah, not to eat a whole cake, not to eat a whole pizza, but
Bag of chips.
A whole bag of chips. But to do something. Good morning, Barb.
Good morning, Barb.
To do something that you enjoy, right? A special thing, a ritual that is meaningful. Not like a few. I think it's coming up, or maybe it's already been published. But I have a blog that I titled "Coffee," or in my case, tea. Tea, in my favorite cup. Tea or coffee as a mantra, right? Don't just slurp your coffee on your way out the door, but hold it and cherish it and focus on the aroma and make it a mantra to start your day. Not just, I got to get this stuff in to get my eyes open, but instead. And so it's the same thing. If you're going to go off your diet, off your program, off your detox program, which is what our food plans are for managing weight, do it intentionally and do it without guilt. And then how do you fight guilt? What is that?
I don't think you fight it. I think that you accept it.
Yeah.
You listen to it. Listen to those whispers, those
Good morning, friend.
Good morning, friend. Those vulnerable parts of you with compassion. Don't get mad at yourself for getting guilty, because then that's kind of like,
I'm guilty about being guilty. Oh my God.
Yeah, I can't believe I was feeling guilty. You just have to, like everything else, love those parts of yourself, explore them. Why do I feel guilty? Like, really, why? And yeah.
The ancient 1500s theologian Martin Luther said we are simultaneously saint and sinner. And I think about sinning a little differently maybe, but think about a little boy or little girl who's having a tantrum. That's your sinner, in quotations, whatever the tantrum is. Now, does that little boy or girl need to be slapped around or picked up and held and loved and cuddled and made to feel loved and safe. Well, what guilt and remorse and all these emotions that we get, they're slapping that little kid around. What we need to do is embrace and accept and all the things that you just talked about. Explore
those areas.
What all of our emotions are meant to be emoted and feelings felt. We often try to suppress them, right? So, but if we're feeling them, they're leading us someplace. If we really think about it, we would not have an emotional response to something we didn't care about. So if you're having this emotional response, it's leading you somewhere. So explore that, find that place. Where is this guilt coming from? It's coming from body image, maybe. Okay, well, why? What's going on with that? Well, somebody said something mean to you when you were 14 or something, right? Or whatever it is.
Or maybe you've been saying mean things to yourself since you were 14.
Since you were born.
I know. We really have to stop the body shaming. You have to love and accept yourself where you're at. You can't look at your body or something on you and discuss. You can't. You have to just love those parts more than the parts that you...
So you say this so beautifully, so I'm going to have you say it, your whole thing about love yourself.
Yeah, don't wait to love yourself until you change those things that you don't like. You have to love and embrace all of you and then really just watch the changes happen.
Yeah. We're going to talk a lot about relationships next month, but one of the key issues, in my opinion, is that all love is a manifestation of self-love. You have to be lovable. And part of self-love is simply accepting the truth. And the truth is, I'm a pudgy middle-aged man. That's just the truth, right? And I'm working on that, right? And so I just went skiing with my son and grandson. We had a fantastic time. But guess what? They're younger than I am, and they can go faster than me. But that's just the truth. I simply have to accept that I am no longer that young guy who can barrel down the mountain at 104 miles an hour.
I think you still need to change the pudgy narrative. You need to...
But it's simply true.
Right.
I mean, it's simply the truth, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, am I the worst person in the world? No, absolutely not. But do I still have self-issue things that I wish I were different than I am? Yeah, I do. But it's simply the truth. And accepting the truth is the starting point. And not fighting the truth, not denying the truth, not being pissed off about the truth, not being ashamed of the truth, just accepting the truth. So that's my truth. It just is my starting point. And with that...
Right, but I don't see you as pudgy, I guess, so...
Well, you're the only one, I think.
No, that's not true. That's what I just mean, like, you're not pudgy. That's all I'm saying.
we used to have this soup group. It was sort of this multi-generational bunch of people, and I was one of the younger people in it. And this older couple was talking, and with some Barbara, Barb, good morning, or good morning. You already said good morning. Hello again.
She's saying this journey is all about learning to love ourselves more. The only thing guaranteed is change.
Yep. So anyway, this older couple is talking, and the wife, kind of proudly, because they're like in their 80s or something, and she's kind of proudly saying that she doesn't think her husband has ever seen her completely naked. Maybe just the top or maybe just the bottom. One of the other middle-aged guy, somebody who was my age now, back then, said to Don, was the husband's name, said, "Don, you got to be quicker." So maybe I've been quick and you've never seen me fully naked because I'm pretty sure I'm pudgy. But anyway.
Get off of pudgy.
Yeah, let's get off of pudgy. So...
So why is this so important to the weight management?
Self-sabotage. That's one big piece. And not only self-sabotage, so behavioral self-sabotage, but biochemical self-sabotage. So I'm going to talk about biochemical self-sabotage. She's going to talk about behavioral self-sabotage. So when you are feeling guilty or ashamed or remorseful or any of those negative emotions, you are raising your cortisol, when you raise your cortisol, you are lowering your insulin resistance. When you're lowering your insulin resistance, you are forcing your body to store extra calories as fat. So on a day when you're trying to be super good and you starve yourself, you're not burning fat because the insulin resistance prevents you from burning fat. So instead you burn your muscle. So you become less lean and a higher percentage of fat. And then on a day when you eat 1 or 2 extra calories, it goes immediately to your visceral fat, which is pro-inflammatory, and that tightens the ever-increasing spiral on insulin resistance. So those are some of the biochemical reasons why...
Which are huge.
Which are gigantic.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right?
Yeah. And then what about self-sabotage and all that stuff?
Well, sometimes I don't have a cheat meal. I happen to have a whole cheat weekend. And, it's pretty easy to get just back in those behavioral ruts, so to say. And so it's really important, I'm already planning for Sunday because I know Saturday I have family in town this weekend and we have a lot of plans to go to Spicer Winterfest and hang out around town. And I know
eat funnel cakes.
Well, I know funnel cakes, but I know I'll probably be indulging things I normally don't indulge in. And then it What do you need?
How come I keep pushing the camera that way and you keep moving that way?
I don't think I'm moving. I'm not falling off the chair.
You're trying to escape. Anyway, sorry. Keep going.
He knows when he interrupts me when I'm on a roll.
I should never do it. I'm very sorry. But it was good. You were talking about, I was talking about funnel cakes and you said no funnel cakes.
Oh, my Sunday reset. So I already ordered a local business called Mother's Cupboard. They do juice cleanses. And I already ordered a 2-day cleanse that I'm going to start Sunday and finish Monday. Because I know I'm going to need that reset. And really, it's a great way to reset. And actually, it doesn't increase my blood sugars like one would think. I wear the CGM and I see, and it doesn't alter those things for me. So a juice cleanse is a great way for me to, I know intentionally, Saturday, I'm going to do those things. And then Sunday, Monday, I'm going to reset my body and I'm going to be right back on track. Yeah.
So, Barb, why do they speak of fasting as a good thing? Well, fasting is a good thing if done properly. So, mostly we talk about time-restricted eating.
Yes.
And so we like to think about 16 hours of fast per day, starting about 3 to 4 hours before bedtime, and then eating all of your calories in the remaining 8 hours. And or however many hours is left. So what that does, especially fasting over sleep, so getting your fast started before bed and then fasting over sleep, it increases something called autophagy and mitophagy. So there are cells in our bodies that just aren't contributing anymore. They're sitting there, they're consuming resources, but they're not contributing. And they're infecting, in quotes, infecting the cells around them to get lazy and not contribute anymore. And these are actually, they're called senescent cells. That's the real word. But colloquially, scientists call them zombie cells. So mitophagy gets rid of zombie mitochondria, which are the powerhouses inside your cells. And autophagy gets rid of the zombie cells themselves. So if you're getting rid of zombie cells, they're being replaced with new, vibrant, healthy cells. And senescent cells or zombie cells, these cells are implicated in every disease of aging. In fact, I'm speaking when a couple month or something or whenever it is on this very topic to chiropractic college in the Twin Cities, Northwestern College of Chiropractic or Health Sciences. So anyway, that's why fasting is good, and but doing it properly is important. And not again, just starving yourself, and intentionally, not just I'm not going to eat today because I want to lose a pound. Well, okay, except for that's not how it works. So eating, like I said, time-restricted eating, that's a good way to do it. Choosing a day, one day every week or every couple of weeks and just fasting that day, that's another way to do it. Some people will do a 3-day fast over a weekend or something. those are reasonable things, but then you want to understand what you're doing. And there's lots of resources for that, but you want to get minerals and electrolytes and maybe even some protein to conserve your muscle mass so you're not burning your own muscle. All right, so we're at 15 minutes. How did that happen? At least I was having fun.
Obviously, we're passionate about this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
All right.
any last minute questions? Otherwise, everyone have a great day, and we'll talk to you next week, I guess.
Yep, let's see here.
And
Let's
next week, actually, we're going to be in the clinic and
Oh, yeah.
doing some of our scans that are part of the Precision Weight Management Program. And talking about those.
Well, there you go. I didn't know that. So I guess that's what we're going to do.
Yes, we see who's in charge here of the itineraries.
Yeah, it isn't me. If I had, I can't organize the contents of my own pocket, so that's why I need people. Well, thank you, Barb.
Yeah, you as well.
Yeah, you as well. And thank you, everybody, for showing up. And good to see you, Fran. And we'll talk to you next week from the clinic.
All right. Bye, Sean.
Oh, Sean, hi, bye.